Okay, so in this video, I will demonstrate two simple ways to refill the Pilot Varsity. They both work equally well, and you may choose one or the other based on convenience, available supplies, or aesthetics. The first method requires just a pen, a pair of pliers, and ink. Optional is a piece of cloth or something like that. Here I have the ink blotter from a Lamy bottle to prevent the nib from being scratched. Clamp the pliers around the nib and push out with your thumb while pulling out with the pliers. While you're doing this, do not turn the nib or bend it in any which way except for outwards, because you may snap the plastic part of the nib in half and then it'll be broken. You can't use it anymore. Now, just pour the ink in. You do not want to fill above where the clear part starts, because the ink will just splash up on the sides of the feed and it won't be usable. I can't really zoom in or focus on this camera during filming, so sorry about that. Now just put the nib back and use the pliers to click back in place. You should hear a clicking sound when the nib is all the way back. The cloth would have been used if you want to prevent the nib from being scratched. You just wrap it around the nib to prevent scratches while you're pulling it out or putting it back in. Now this first method, though a bit cumbersome, returns the pen to roughly the same condition you bought it in, making it more aesthetically pleasing or whatever. The second method makes it more convenient for you to refill it future times. However, it will permanently maul your pen, so it won't look as good as when you first bought it. But then again, everything dies in the end, so let's get to it. So for this method, you need a pen, a compass, a pencil, and a hot glue. First, just plug in the hot glue gun while we are preparing the rest of the procedure. You can also use a drill instead of a compass and a pencil, but I am not responsible if you accidentally drill a hole through your fingers, or if you accidentally pierce a hole through your fingers with the compass by using the compass improperly, as opposed to the method I am about to show you. Now just remove the cap from the back end of the pen and take the compass. Now, normally you don't get your hands this inky, but I had several accidents during film, as it is difficult to coordinate hands in front of the camera. Now just take the compass needle and put it in the back of the pen and use it to pierce a hole through the ink reservoir. If you look in there, there is an ink reservoir that goes up about 2/3 the way up the pen, which means that by piercing the ink reservoir you have increased the ink capacity by about 50%. Now after you poke a small hole, use the pencil, increase the size of the hole so ink can actually flow through there. Then just take your ink and pour it in through the back. The thing you have to do before that, though, is that you would seal the top part of it to recreate a vacuum seal. This is very important because otherwise gravity will just pull all the ink out through the pen. Just take the hot glue gun and seal the top part of the cap, and make sure there are no holes through which air can flow. And this creates more or less a vacuum seal. Now just pour the ink through the back of the pen. As you can see, it will start dripping ink without a vacuum seal. So to create the vacuum seal, just take the cap and put it back in place, and you are done. It may drip once or twice more, but just wipe it off and you'll be good. So now every time you want to refill it, all you have to do is remove the end cap and then pour in the ink, and then put the end cap back in place as quickly as you can so you don't drip ink everywhere. So as you can see, the second method is more dangerous, and I cannot be held responsible for any injuries you might cause yourself during the... And if you do hurt yourself, you did not learn this method from me.